InsureKidsNow.gov or call 877-KIDS-NOW. Paid for by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
Businesses come in all shapes and sizes. Integrity doesn't. For more than a century, the Better Business Bureau has set the standards for how businesses should operate honestly and ethically. So when you're looking for a business you can trust, check to see who's BBB accredited and who isn't. Always choose the better business. Look for the BBB seal because it's looking out for you. That's why it's the sign of a better business. And find a better business anytime at bbb.org.
Deano's Night Out on WRMN. It's the talk of the town, so come on and listen now. It's Deano's Night Out on WRMN 1410.
We are back to Deano's Night Out. And we got another Vito. What's the chances of that, huh? We got a second Vito in the studio. It's Vito D'Ambrosio. And we also have one of our own, Elliot Serrano. So welcome, gentlemen. How you doing today?
Fine, thank you. Thanks so much for having us on.
We're glad to have you, Vito. Vito is with the Italian American Executives of Transportation. It's an Italian-American organization, and they do so much good for so many different people. Vito and I have known each other, again, for a gazillion years. We don't even like to count how many of the years we know each other. And it's not supposed to be Italian hour, but you know what? A lot of my friends are Italian, and I don't make no apologies for that.
Is that why I'm here?
That's
so like Levin the Italian, you brought in somebody else?
We have to balance things.
You balance it a bit.
So we figured we bring the Serrano in over here.
Bring it a little spice. Bring it a little spice.
Serrano's got the disc. Remember that from,
Midnight Run?
Midnight Run.
Yep.
De Niro.
Yeah, that's one of the best movies.
Wasn't it?
We're going to start talking about, this happens whenever I'm on a Deano show, we suddenly start talking about movies, and then it derails everything. So you might have to pull us and go, hey, look, I'm here to talk about some stuff, some serious stuff.
We got a whole hour, and that's cool. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to jump right in. Vito, first, for people that are listening, and listen, if anybody wants to call in, I always fail to do this, please give us a call. Our studio hotline is 847-931-1410. 847-931-1410. And if you're watching on YouTube, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button. It doesn't cost you a dime. It helps us out, I'll be real honest with you, because that's how we're able to measure who's watching, who's not, who's listening, who isn't. And, it gives us a little bit of a boost, and then we have better numbers so we know who we have to appeal to. And any comments that you have, listen, we'll take them all. We're not bashful. We don't duck away from anything. So, back to Vito D'Ambrosio. Vito, again, been a dear friend of mine for a long period of time, and he does nothing but charity work, to be quite honest with you. And one of the things he's coming to talk about is his charities, but we want him to do a little self-introduction. So, Vito, tell us how you got into all of this and why you do it and what motivates you.
Well, like we talked earlier, I've been Italian all my life.
There you go.
You said 98. Yeah. That's what I heard.
98 is when I got drafted into the community. My daughter got a scholarship from a little group called the Italian American Executive of Transportation, and I've been paying for it ever since.
Yeah.
So,
and you're the president now, and been for how many years?
Yeah, too long. I got up to, we had a meeting one night to go over officers and board, and I got up to use the bathroom, and I came back, I was president, and I've been trying to get out of it.
Everybody knows that when Vito's involved in something, a lot of times they will start going to the other side of the room because they know that there's going to be a little bit of there's going to be some type of arm being put on. We're on.
Sometimes.
Yeah, it's probably just a headphone. It could be the headphones. No. Oh, there we are.
Elliot was giving the eyeball that something was wrong. Real good, making sure I had everything right.
I thought you were giving me the hook already.
No. I'm glad you're here, Vito. I mean,
Yeah.
I've never seen you as quiet as you are right now. How come?
I'm on radio. You know, you threw me for a loop. Yeah, because they always told me I had a face for radio, and now I'm on TV too.
That's all of us, buddy. That's all of us.
So this is a little extra special that we're able to do.
Yeah.
You know, and we do. We're, you know, having this YouTube piece, you know, we got great engineers here that are able to we were on Facebook for a while. But he says, you know what, we're going to class up a little bit, go to YouTube. And everything seemed to be going okay. So we're on YouTube now.
Good.
But yeah, you look good. You know, don't be bashful. I mean, either one of us are bashful in front of a microphone, am I right?
Well, I don't know. I blush a lot. That's why I was afraid of the TV.
Yeah, I've seen you in front of people. You know, when you do events, it's not 150, 200. Minimum event for Vito is 500 to 750 people that are attending.
Wow.
So, I mean, we have a lot of people. Is that still sticking, huh? Okay, so I guess our button is sticking. It's my switch over here.
Oh, there it is.
Yeah.
Now we're back.
All right. Sorry about that, folks. But we are back. You're listening to Deano's Night Out, WRMN 1410. Vito D'Ambrosio is with us today. And Vito's been with the Italian community for a lot of years. It all started when his daughter got a scholarship. And I've been a part of those scholarships before. In fact, my twins got a scholarship from Italian American Executives of Transportation. And, you know, and it helps them along. When you support the youth, I think that's the best thing that we could do. If we don't, you know, set the pace, if that is, pave the way, whatever fancy word you want to work, bottom line is support our youth. If we don't let them see what we do, maybe they don't want to do what we do or do it as much as we do. Because my kids, they're not in all this charity like I was, you know, going here, going there. They like to go to certain events, but we've always had the events. I mean, we're always the chairman. You know, if there's ever, hey, we're going to do such and such, I knew that Vito was going to either make me a co-chair or the actual chairman if he couldn't do it. Yeah. And, you know, and you've done a great job of doing all of that, Vito. You know,
Thank
you brought a lot of good to the different places and the different people that, you know, you've been supporting. You know, and this first one that we are going to talk about is the Augustus Caesar Awards. And maybe you could tell a little bit about that. I mean, I know, and I'll just set the stage briefly. It's about young professionals, and the Joint Civic Committee of Italian Americans also has young professionals. But when you would say young professionals before, there was no activity. It was like, yeah, it's a junior organization. But these young professionals today, how about it, have taken it to another level. They know how to utilize the platforms, your Facebooks, your Instagrams, the social media that's out there. I mean, the podcasting, and it's really come a long way. And these are prominent people in the business world. So go ahead, Vito. Tell us a little about this Augustus Caesar Awards that's coming up.
Well, Augustus, we wanted to do something for our young folks, and just, you know, you touched on the scholarship program, and, you know, we have an outstanding scholarship program.
One of the best.
So far to date, we've given up over $850,000 in scholarship money.
Yeah, that's not peanuts.
So it's helped. And, you know, one of the problems that we've always had is getting our folks back into the community or keeping them in the community. We're so divided nowadays with stereotyping that the Italian community goes through, this, that, and the other. And, you know, I've gone through it, you've gone through it, we've all gone through it. Sometimes it's just not so nice. So once they get the scholarship, they tended to stay away from the community. So this is a way to try to get people back into the community. And we're very proud of the people that we're honoring this year. And that's where it got started. Actually, it was an offshoot of the old IANU David Awards. So we kind of modeled it after that, but we definitely spruced it up. We're making it a very, very, very special evening for these young folks. They do go through a selection process. So you can't self-nominate. We don't ask people. Somebody has to nominate you. Then from there, we fill out applications, and we go through committee, and then we decide who we're going to have. And very proud of the folks that we had. One of our recipients last year was Danella Croca, one of the Jersey girls. And
oh, neat.
She was, she was just outstanding, bubbly, and it was her first award ever.
Wow.
So I thought that was very nice. So this year, what do? Now you're going to pay it back. We made her a co-MC.
Yeah, there you are.
So, Daniela's going to have triple duty that night. She's going to be a co-MC with Mayor Joe Tamburino, and she's going to be doing our national anthems, and she's going to be performing with the Jersey Girls during dinner. So we got all three of them done.
And Joe Tamburino, he's, for those of you that don't know, Hillside, Illinois. Everybody comes to visit Hillside, but that's where they end up because that was what he would always say that because there's Mount Carmel and Queen of Heaven Cemetery are in, at least for the Italians anyhow.
Yeah.
Those two cemeteries are in Hillside. But Joe Tamburino, just a gentleman. Mayor Joe has been so supportive of a lot of youth programs. Helped on so many different scholarships as well. But has been, how long has he been mayor? He's been mayor in Hillside for some time.
A long time.
Yeah.
A very, very long time. He actually had a real job prior to he retired from the real job and stayed on as Hillside mayor.
Yeah.
Not that it's not a real job. He's really turned it into something
No, I got you.
special.
Yeah, some positions are part-time mayor, full-time mayor. But just to digress for just a bit, Mr. Tamburino, just a real gentleman, real good supporter of all the different organizations. But go ahead, who are some of the recipients? Let's talk about them for this year.
Well, we try to get people from different walks of life. We've got Nikki Amori, who does financial planning. Alex Corbo is in law enforcement. He's a police officer right now. And he's also going to be doing our invocation. So as he's arresting somebody, he can also say a prayer for him.
Yeah.
Stephanie Corona, she's in educational services, but she also does a lot of marketing, things like that. And the other thing, she's also running for Miss Illinois.
Okay.
So that's kind of cool.
Is she single?
Yes, she is, but I don't think it's going to be for long. So.
Just putting it out there for the guys.
She will have her pick of the litter. So
There we go.
she
There
will
we
have her
go.
pick of the litter. So that means you and me are out. Just
Yeah, I would say, yeah.
Yeah, Elliot wasn't shopping for himself. He was
No.
just trying to let everybody else know what's out there.
what the heck.
Uh-huh.
Rachel Matong, a special education teacher. Girl is solid. We had a long conversation last night and last week, and just extremely solid all the way through. Gianni Moroni's in restaurant services. You may not recognize the name, but he is running Salerno's restaurants.
Right.
Yeah, his father Emilio was our humanitarian a few years back, and his brother Emo was one of our recipients, our first recipient last year. And if you'll see him, Emo came in with the toga.
Okay.
Yeah. So that was kind of cool. So he said, "Can I come in with a toga again?" I said, "Absolutely." So we gave him a name now. He's Augie.
I was going to say, it is a Caesar.
But this time they're insisting that he wears the undershorts. He didn't have them on the last time. And it was a little breezy up on the stage.
They didn't. There weren't undershorts back then in the toga days.
Yeah,
You know.
Well, he asked me last year if he could wear one. I said, "Absolutely, but wear it during cocktail hour and then come up with the suit when you get your presentation award."
There you go.
He did it the other way around.
Well,
But that was okay. It was okay.
Made it memorable.
It did make it memorable, and I always say, if it's not fun, it's not worth it.
There you go.
So you got to impose some of that in there. So that's what he does. Anthony Palladino, Russ is a solid young man. He's doing medical marketing in addition to some other things, but that's his primary field. And very proud of Anthony. He's got some very big accomplishments on there. And we also got PJ Sasso. And you know Philip Sasso.
Yeah, sure I do.
You know quite well.
Yep.
He's a very talented entertainer, extremely talented. He can play music just by listening to it and playing it. He doesn't have to read it. But I was really surprised now he's getting the audio video technician, which is something that this radio station might have. So we're going to be working him out. In addition to getting an award, he's also going to be working. But that's okay. I hate to break the news to you on the air, but that's the way it goes.
that's how it works.
Yeah. Nicole Cisco, food and beverage planning. She works at O'Hare and aviation department. And,
Not with the Cisco Foods people, though.
no, not the Cisco food people. No, no. She does work with something called oats. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of oats.
What is that?
Oats.
Not Quaker oats.
I was going to say, isn't the stuff you add water to and you make breakfast with it? No.
Oats stands for O'Hare Airport Transit Systems.
All right.
That's what it stands for. They control all the traffic in and out of O'Hare, and her father's a key part of that. There's a 3-company conglomeration, and her father, John Cisco, I believe it is with Harbor Contractors.
Well, if you recall, I know you recall, But we had one of the top people from the aviation department.
We do. We have top people there. Frank Grimaldi Jr., Assistant Deputy Director, and Jamie Ree, who's the Director of Aviation. Yeah, she was our honoree last year. So
Yeah. I remember when we opened runway 97 something. Remember when they put the new tower up?
Yep.
We were all there. Who was in charge at the time of aviation at the time?
That was Rosie Andolino.
Rosie Andolino. Yeah. Oh, what a woman. Let me tell you something. Very, very, very sharp. And she was in charge of the whole Chicago O'Hare Field aviation. That's the top job.
She arguably had the largest budget in the country. She had, at that time, with the O'Hare expansion, was a
Right.
$30 billion budget
Yeah.
between the airports and the expansion. So
Yeah, we were there when the
Little
first
more than
plane
that.
landed on that runway when they opened up the tower. Remember that thing?
yeah, we were invited for the runway opening.
Yeah.
2 runway openings, if I remember.
Actually.
Yeah. 2 runway openings. And no, one was the runway, and the other one was the tower.
Well, it was a
The new tower.
combination of,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, the first runway opening, they landed, all the local mayors got off the plane. That was the first time.
Yeah, they went for a
everybody
quick
landed.
ride around.
It was kind of cool.
Yeah, Richie Daley was the mayor at the time. Yeah, that was nice.
And Daley was the mayor at the time.
Yeah.
Got off.
Yeah.
It was kind of nice. And our last but not least is Valerie Temponi, Government Services Judicial System. She's in the federal government.
Oh, nice.
She looks at all cases, this and that, and she's undercover. She won't tell me everything she does. I think she might have even changed her name for this event. But we're very proud of Valerie, and she's also one of our members, one of our transportation members. We have, believe it or not, we have 250 members, and we've probably got the youngest batch of members of anybody out there. So I always kid because we have so many people now under the age of 30 that decreased our median age down to 87.
That's a good one.
Is-
This is funny
the
too.
truth. Oh, yeah.
Are all Vitos this funny?
Yeah, yeah.
All the Vitos. The last Vito's a cut up.
Vito's
this
got
case?
all this material for me.
There we go. All right.
That's what it was. Yeah, whenever Vito's a little short, he calls the big Vito, right? And Vito's always a little short, but that's okay. Those are his jokes.
Yeah.
Yeah, any Sunday, wasn't it good to see him, Vito, when you saw him walking out?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I
Like
know
you
you've
said,
done
you
different
said,
things with him as well. You've known him a long time.
He said the regular size Vito's in the room.
Yeah.
He's the fun size Vito. He was
Yeah.
in the fun size.
So, there's ways people could support this. I know they have ads and what have you, but the funds that are collected from this, and I know there's quite an outlay of money too because of the scholarship. Where does that money go? Does that just get fed right back in so that more scholarships, so, people that don't know how this works, is that what happens with any?
Most of the money, we're not making money on this one, I'll tell you that much. But the money that we get from other stuff goes right back into the community. Over the course of a year, we recirculate about over $100,000 back in the community. So they did increase my salary this year.
Well, that's good.
Yeah, they put
So it's
another
double
zero
nothing,
on it.
yeah.
The only problem is they're all zeros. So
Yeah.
it does cost you to be in these things, as you know. Oh, my God.
They keep adding the zeros after the decimal
Yeah.
point. You're like, oh, okay. All the zeros you want, but it has to be after the decimal point.
Yeah, but I also got them before.
But before the decimal, it's 0.00.
The people that come on, they talk about their passion and, they're doing this and they're doing that. And, I was inspired by this one or I was inspired by that one. At the end of their day, they have a little bit of a paycheck. They're working for it and they earned it and they should get it. What Vito does, and myself as well for how many different years, there's no real payday. If anything, it's money coming out, and you're asking your friends, hey, can you help out this charity, that charity? What's going on here within the homeless community? You ask your different friends to support these things, but it's the same thing. This is a passion, I think, that we share, right? Well, you could speak for yourself, but why do you do all the charity that you do? All you do is you go from meeting to meeting to meeting, and thank God they got wine at the meeting on the table.
Yeah,
or I know we wouldn't get
This
you
is,
there.
For all you viewers out there, okay, this might be spiked.
Yeah,
Don't want to ruin my image.
yeah, yeah. He's got an image hole, but sincerely, we do all of this. Again, it's the passion. But and I know speak of that. When you're doing all this, what are you doing it? Why do you keep doing this?
I can't get out of it.
Yeah, well.
Well,
That's right when you thought you were out, right? And they pulled you back
We're
in.
right back in.
I was not going to say that.
Yeah, I had to. Teed it up for myself, But it's a great thing to be able to help these organizations, though. And when I heard about this, the Augustus Caesar Awards, I heard about it. It's not like it's the first time. But when Vito called up and said, hey, I want to promote this, perfect time. Perfect timing because, again, what is it doing? It's helping our youth. It's and not youth. I mean, these are established people. You got some good credentials here. We have a great list of people. But they need to be recognized because I think recognition allows them maybe to push and advance and even a little forward of people within their own, what they're working in, their environment, we'll call it. And when you're proud of something like, hey, I just got the Augustus Award, it's not like they want to bolster it or, Vito's got shelves and shelves of awards. We all got them, but that's not when none of us do it. We're not there for here's the picture and we're writing a check to an organization. We're there because we know we're making a difference. And, Italian-American Executives of Transportation has made a huge difference prior to Vito joining and keeping that spirit alive and keeping that going forward. You don't even have to be Italian to be a part of these organizations. So, I get the criticism, another Italian group, another one of your Italian friends. No, that's not what this is. This is about helping different people. The Maryville Academy, which we're going to talk about in just a few moments, because we're getting ready to go to that bottom of the hour little break over here, and that's a hard break we'll have to take. But there's another organization that gets supported from people's generosity, and Maryville Academy was Father Smith's baby from the beginning.
Father Smith.
And what a statue they got over there. He says, and if I quote it the right way, and I've used it so many different times, a man never stands so tall as he does when he stoops over to help a child. So, and that was what Father Smith exemplified. He was every bit of that. This was an age and an era back in the 50s is pretty much when Maryville was really alive, even the tail end of the 40s, 50s, 60s. When there was a divorce in those days, you weren't able to have families stay together. They were taking the kids away because they were like, hey, look, you can't support them. They're going to have to get care. So at least the children would be sadly, they were putting into orphanages. And the Maryville Academy would be one of them. But here you had a guy, and he was a basketball star too in the beginning, I believe. And here he was. Here's a priest that took, a liking to helping. Of course, that's what you do when you're in a priesthood. But still, he took an interest in the youth, is what I'm getting to. And the youth is so important to support and get behind. If we don't, and he had all the bad kids went there. I mean, Maryville was the bad kids. And let's face it. But what he would do is it was like a boys' town, Father Flanagan thing. And he was that guy. He would be the one that would sit and talk to you. He would teach him a craft. Just like with Corey Brooks, does the same thing. He's on the south side of Chicago. These are the gentlemen, the pillars that make the difference, that want our youth to excel. I mean, would you agree with me with Smitty? A lot of people call him Smitty, and Father was Smith. We honored him with different organizations. I'm sorry?
He's attended a few of our functions.
Oh, yeah. He passed away now, but just a gentleman. So, all right, everybody, here's Dad break time. I was kind of giving it the old stall because I didn't want to start talking about the next Stravaganza International di Danza. That's what we're going to talk about when we come back. And Elliot Serrano, we're going to talk about torn quad cast, I guess is what it is.
The torn quadcast.
The torn quad.
I'll explain the pun, which is obviously not going over.
No, that's okay. I don't get it. you make me understand it.
I will.
That's what this is. Listen, you're listening to WRMN 1410 AM. Call in. You want to talk to any one of us, especially Vito D'Ambrosio? You don't want to talk to me. Talk to Vito. 847-931-1410. Talk to Elliot as well when he starts describing what he's got going on. We'll be back in just a little bit, everybody. Thank you very much for listening, and we will see you in just a bit.
You want to just...
With your 1410 WRMN Newsflash, I'm Sean Kernan. Brought to you by Sky Rizzi. A St. Charles man and former PTO president Edward T. Eisenstark has been sentenced to 5 years in prison following his guilty plea to multiple charges relating to the grooming of a child. A 38-year-old charged with indecent solicitation of a child traveling to meet a minor, grooming and solicitation of a sexual act. Elgin's U46 is set to extend its elementary school day by 20 minutes starting in the next school year. The adjustment will see class days beginning 10 minutes earlier and ending 10 minutes later. Half of the district's 38 elementary schools will run from 7:50 a.m. to 2:10 p.m., while the other half will operate from 8:20 a.m. until 2:40 p.m. An Elgin man with a prior conviction for child pornography is now confronting a serious new charge. Robert J. Dodaro, 46, arrested on January 20th following an investigation by the Kane County Child Exploitation Unit. He faces 22 counts related to the possession and distribution of child pornography. With your 1410 WRMN News Flash, I'm Sean Credan.
This sandwich is not just spicy, it's flavorful.
Hi, this is Patayo. And this is Elsa. And a little thing I love about the Chick-fil-A Grilled Spicy Deluxe Sandwich is that spicy kick.
Because the spice comes in at just the right moment.
Oh, no.
A little thing I love is that cilantro lime sauce. It's a fun blend of zesty and bold. That's what really makes me happy. Are you going to eat all your fries?
Order a Chick-fil-A Grilled Spicy Deluxe Sandwich and a Diet Dr. Pepper on the Chick-fil-A app for a limited time. Real guests paid for their testimonials.
Progressive knows finding your new home was a dream come true. You wanted a colonial with high ceilings, hardwood floors, and a peaceful neighborhood. And you found it. Now, every Saturday at 6 a.m., you get to wake to the sound of your neighbor's leaf blower. Progressive can't save you from your noisy neighbors, but we can save you money when you bundle your home and auto with us. Get a quote at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers not available in all states.
Are you ready to take your brand to the next level? Image 360 South Elgin is your ultimate destination for custom signs and visual communication solutions. Looking to rebrand your office interior? Need striking vehicle wraps or decals for your fleet? Or perhaps you're in the market for a standout trade show display? At Image 360 South Elgin, they've got you covered. As your full-service custom sign and graphics partner, they deliver bold solutions and exceptional support. From outdoor signage to eye-catching store signs, indoor graphics to comprehensive branding solutions, they have the experience to elevate your brand's presence. Trust Image 360 to create a long-term partnership that gives your brand 360 degrees of exposure. Visit them at 506 Sundown Road in South Elgin. Image 360 South Elgin. Bold solutions, exceptional support.
This is Sarah Silver with your Fox Valley forecast. This afternoon, mostly cloudy with a decent chance of rain before 4 p.m. High near 41, with temperatures falling to around 35. Windy with gusts up to 35 miles per hour. Tonight, partly cloudy with a low around 27. Tomorrow, partly sunny with a high near 35. Currently, it is 39 with mainly clear skies. I'm Sarah Silver on the Talk of the Town, WRMN.
Now's the time to shop limited-time doorbuster deals during Pro Savings Days at Lowe's. Save $50 on a Little Giant King Combo 6-foot ladder. Was $199, now $149. Plus, save $100 on a DeWalt XR 20-volt Power Stack 5-amp-hour battery. Was $199, now $99. Get these can't-miss deals now before they're gone. Lowe's knows savings. Lowe's knows pros. Doorbusters valid 113 through 115. Selection varies by location while supplies last.
And we are back. Dino's Night Out. Got some great guests in here today. Video. I keep doing video. What's with the video? It's Vito D'Ambrosio. And we also have Elliot Serrano. Vito's been talking about some great things going on within the community, some good fundraiser stuff. We just got done talking about Augustus Caesar Awards. I think he got a few more things that maybe I missed that he wants to talk about. So we're going to talk about that, and then we're going to go on to the Stravaganza International di Danza, which is a charity that's going to support a lot of what goes on over at Maryville. So, Vito, tell us what's going on with the piece on Augustus, please.
Yeah. Just a few things we want to touch up on. Everybody asks, why Augustus? I mean,
Well, let me ask, why Augustus?
I'm glad you asked that
Hey,
question.
okay, go ahead.
Anyway, we were looking for a good figure that has a good reputation. Has really done a lot of outstanding things. And we ran across Augustus, and a few things about Augustus is that he was the first Roman emperor, period. He was adopted by Julius, and under Augustus, the Pax Romana started. There were over 200 years of peace in the Roman Empire under Augustus. Also, the arts flourished, road building, philosophy, you name it. Everything that we're doing today, that's touched today, was all started basically by Augustus. And he was the youngest for a long time before they had the child emperors, after that, this and that. So his reign was quite substantial. So at the time that we started this, I want to make sure we were okay with it because all the woke thing was going on at the time. Everybody was offended by everything. So I called John Mancini up. You may or may not know him. He heads the Italic Institute, and he knows everything there is to do about Italian history. He runs a newsletter every other day, it seems like, and just unbelievable. So I talked to John, and I said, John, this is what we want to do. You got any dirt on this guy? He said no. He said we're good. That's how we came up with
I figured it was a little bit something different. Have you ever seen the David statue? I figured it's a whole lot more politically correct. Instead of giving that David statue, then you give Augustus over here with the hand up in the air.
And that David statue would have been something, though. People would be talking about it.
Would they not?
They would.
Yeah.
Well, we were honoring people that are fulfilling in their profession. And here we are, we're giving David statues out. The guy couldn't afford clothes.
See? And this guy was a road builder, so worked with transportation.
Well, yeah.
So that's the way it goes.
Hey, you're listening to WRMN 1410, 847-931-1410. If you got a question for Vito on this, please give us a call. So, hey, we're going to go into our next topic. Are we good?
No.
Oh, we're not done with Augusta.
No, we're not done yet.
I thought you gave me the whole thing.
On this. You want to let me talk?
Oh, come on. Go ahead.
All right. So anyway, we also got a wealth of entertainment that's out there also. We have Frankie Zetta. He's a big up-and-comer. You guys have seen him around town. He's going to be during cocktail hour. And we have the Jersey Girls during dinner hour. And then we're going to take it home with a band called For the Beat after dinner. And they're off the Odyssey. They are the Odyssey band. And we had them last year, and I booked them before. They're just outstanding. We're up there to the wee hours of the night. So after their performance last year, I just automatically booked them for this year. It's that big. And I mean, we have a full open bar, premium bar. We're going to have a big, heavy appetizer buffet. I know Dean's very familiar with that.
Oh, yeah.
Beautiful steak dinner. Pastry.
There's always room for one more in any Italian function, right or wrong?
Yeah, what the heck?
There you go. Abbondanza.
Now you can move on.
All right. Well, you were quiet in the beginning here. I had to drag the words out of you, and all of a sudden you woke up.
That's because you wouldn't shut up.
Well,
Give me a chance.
Well, let's go. Well, now's your chance. We're going to go now.
It's like,
you
it's like I'm watching my
one for
uncle's
us.
fight. God.
So go ahead, Vito. Tell us about our next thing that's going to go on that's going to support and help the Maryville people. Go ahead.
Okay. Well, annually we do a fashion show, and our rule is whoever runs the fashion show dictates and determines the charity, and that's what we've done since the beginning of time. So Grace Coletta is running the fashion show. So last year we did it in support of disabled American veterans, and we did some very unique things there. I mean, when was the last time we saw a color guard at a fashion show?
Sure.
And we had Hawaiian dancers, and we had, and it was very popular. This year, we want to support Maryville Academy. Like Dean mentioned, Maryville has done so many great things, Father Smith, and we're just thrilled to death to be able to support him. Tina Restivo is our contact person there, and she's just exceptional as a development person. She's just really, really exceptional. So looking forward to working with Tina on that. The event's going to be Saturday, April 5th. We have a new fashion house called the Fashion Bar. They're very, very high end. They're out of Water Tower Place. And we just got a wealth of stuff that's going to happen that evening.
Yeah, it looks like it starts at 4:30. These
4:30
events here.
for
Wow.
Sales and boutiques.
Yeah.
Which is pretty common with all that. But the Fashion Bar, they're going to really come out big time. We've got 7 models going out. We different runway makeovers. One of the things we're going to be doing also, we're going to be raffling off a makeover for 3 people. So it's kind of cool.
Why do you look right at me when you say a makeover? Are you saying that I need one?
I thought you were a mirror.
I'm like, gee, look, I know I got the bags under my eyes, but come on, man.
I got the extreme makeover.
This is
if they're extreme, they're only going to do one.
This is family friendly. I'm seeing that, and for $90, you're going to get. There's a lot of neat entertainment here too.
Yep.
But it's $90 for adults, right?
$90 for adults.
And for children 5 to 12, it's only $35. So you're encouraging there's a family event, which is nice. And then children up to 5, they're free. So how do you beat that? I mean, you got a family of 3, 4, 5 people, young family, which is, again, what we're trying to do, encourage the younger families, get out and see what the community is doing. And what better way? And then you're not going to get that entertainment. And you're getting the appetizers. You're getting a beautiful dinner over there. So, I mean, go ahead. It's yours, Vito.
Yeah.
I don't want to get accused of talking too much again.
That's it. Okay. But anyway, Fashion Bar is we're really looking forward to it. We're going to have hairdressers and makeup artists and everything right there on the spot. They're not going to come in already made up. They're going to have some very high-end clothing. Rumor has it we might have some Gucci Goo. And then they're going to have other stuff like I always wear, the early American Italian hand-downs.
Yeah, I got you.
Okay with that. The rummage sale stuff is fine. So we're going to have a lot of different things there. And it's going to be fun on that end of it. We also, because it's Bali Internationale, we do a little more than just put up a few signs. Okay, we actually have a folklore group that's going to come in and perform different dances. This folklore troupe consists of 25 members.
Wow.
So I'm going to say at least 20 of them are going to be dancers. We're looking at 3 or 4 different costume changes. We're looking at a really fun evening. We're looking at a big extravaganza there. I don't think, we're going to find out real quick if the dressing rooms are big enough.
Yeah.
They might be stripping in front of people, which would be an extra show.
We'll have to charge more than $90.
We should charge more than 90 at that point.
Yeah, but then you can't take the kids to that one.
No. We'll have to stop.
Yeah, we'll put the kids in the back of the room.
Put them in the back.
Yeah.
So who's the entertainment?
Our entertainment, typically most fashion shows do not have entertainment, but we have Big Benjamin de los Monteros. You may have heard of him. He's a big up-and-comer. He's going to be our MC, our master of ceremonies, and he also does a lot of Bocelli and opera. And he runs his own fashion shows also, believe it or not. Does an elaborate thing in the fall called Fashion of the Opera.
Well,
much more high-end, about 3 times what we're charging for this, but very, very nice. And then we got the incomparable Rick Elvis Queta. Rick is one of our members, as is Ben. They're both our members. And they both they're donating their time. I hope they heard that. They're donating their time. And another thing we're going to do that's extremely different from other fashion shows that you've seen is typically a typical fashion show, you have a little bit of a show on deck, and then you're going to go ahead and eat, and then you're going to shop the boutiques, and then you're going to go home. We actually have a dance floor. And after all that is over with, it's time to party on. We have an open open premium bar all night for that. We're going to have Italian wine on the table, and we're going to have Rick and Benjamin entertain us. And
open bar, huh?
Till the wee hours. So they kick us out, and they usually don't kick me out of there. Last time they threw me the keys. So, which is one thing I do want to say about Ashton Place. We've been back there now for our awards dinner. We've been back there, and I believe in consistency, and I believe in taking care of people to take care of you. And there hasn't been a hall that has taken care of us after Alta Villa like these folks have.
Oh, my God. Remember Alta Villa days, Enzo?
Oh, yeah.
What a guy. Enzo Greasy. Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Well, you were like a son to him.
Yeah. He wanted to make me. I told you the story about St. Joseph Table.
Yeah.
Yeah. He wanted me to be man of the year for St. Joseph Table. I said, Enzo, I can't be man of the year for St. Joseph Table. St. Joseph is man of the year for St. Joseph.
Yeah, right? There's only one man of the year. No room for 2 there. Absolutely.
But It's going to be a wealth of entertainment for that. It's going to be a great show. Everything that is typical for fashion shows is going to be happening, plus stuff that's extremely non-traditional. So there's going to be more surprises, just like we did last year.
Excellent.
And what's on there? Yeah, we can still sponsor. And, we haven't really done advertising yet because we're still putting it together. But we've already got calls for 3-4 tables. People are so happy with it last year. And we got a few ads in the mail already. And I think it's great, So, again, you give quality and people come back. That's just the way it is.
Yeah, is there any social media, like a Facebook page or somewhere that people can email or call?
I'm glad you asked that question.
Here we go.
Yeah, actually we do. We have a pretty vibrant website, and there's information on there. We can actually go ahead and purchase tickets and things right now and sponsorships. We also have a pretty elaborate Facebook page. It's called IAET, and then dash Italian American Executives of Transportation. And pictures from last year of all of our events in the last few years are all posted on there. So you can really take a good live look. And we've also got videos. For example, last year when we had our Hawaiian dancer, we got videos of our dancers. And we also had a fire dancer out there, too.
Oh,
Go
okay.
figure. We had a fire dancer. So we got videos of that. They wouldn't let me do it inside, though.
I wonder why.
Yeah.
Yeah, fire code.
Hey, they were worried about the sprinklers going on.
Oh, well, yeah, that'll work. But those things are
I tried
smoky.
to tell them over there, I said, look, it would be more authentic. It'd be like a tropical rainstorm, but they didn't follow my logic.
So it's IAET. Italian American Executives of Transportation. You search for that on Facebook. We'll find the Facebook page. And the web page again is?
The web page is iat-chicago.org.
-chicago.org. Yeah. And then people can buy tickets on there, get information on the whole thing. And you're also still looking for sponsors.
That's correct. We're just now starting. We're going to do big marketing here in the next 2 weeks or so.
Okay.
And we're going to have that opportunity to go ahead and win a makeover. We're going to have opportunities for that. That's going to be sold online. And we're just getting it together. I mean, I'm really, and one thing I got to say, that this fashion show committee is the hardest working committee out there.
Mm-hmm.
I know, because they work me to death.
Well, you put your hand up all the time, Vito. You got to quit putting your hand up.
For years, I never took part in the fashion show. My daughter was started years and years ago, and she would deliberately have the meetings the day she knew I couldn't be there. And
she'd be volunteering you.
I know. No, I wouldn't be volunteering. It's like, hey, I'm running it. You stay out of here, And I was happy with that for the last. But then about 3 years ago, I got sucked in, and that's it. I can't get out of it.
As long as you don't leave like the credit card on a table where they can suddenly find things. Oh, look at what we can do here.
Credit card.
Yeah.
I get the bills in the mail.
What's the fundraising goal for this year? What was your fundraising goal?
Fashion shows typically don't make that much on there, believe it or not, because of the fashion houses, the cost and everything else that's involved. But last year for the veterans, I believe we did more than half at 45, plus we gave them proceeds from something else, 4,500. Year before that, we had Casa Italia. We did a benefit for them, and we raised $5,500 for them on
pretty
that
good.
side. And there's a lot of expenses in this. I mean, a lot of expenses, a lot more than meets the eye. Your decorations, your decor, your this, your that. That's why typically most come up with nothing. But the team that we've got, they've come up with some pretty freaking unique ways to go ahead and make some funds.
Good.
They usually involves picking my pocket. But that's another.
Again, the credit card is just sitting there.
But one of the main important things are, though, again, is that this is helping the youth. This is helping the community. This particular time for this one, it's helping Maryville. And believe me, their care for children and strengthening families. That's their little tagline. And it's a great cause. So that's Italian American Executives of Transportation really putting on the event. You can call in. Vito's already given you the website. But, Vito, we're glad you came on. We talked about the first event, which I think is going to be really neat. You're really talking about promoting the youth and letting people in the community know what they've accomplished. That's Augustus Caesars Award. We found out why you picked Augustus, which is kind of cool. And I'm going to do the same thing with you. I want you to wear this if you would, Vito. And maybe at even one of the next times you're at one of the different events and encourage some of the other people. You were right here in Studio 14, WRMN. We're not proud. We'll give anybody anything to promote us over here.
14B, I paid attention.
14B, there you go. But really, come on in anytime you want to promote something. We have an out to lunch piece. We're going to take a real quick break, and we're going to come back, and we're going to talk with Elliot Serrano. Going to talk about his show that's going to premiere this Saturday at 6 o'clock.
6 o'clock.
So we'll be back in a few short moments.
This is Larry Jones.
Good luck
I'd
with
like to
your show,
talk
buddy.
to you about my bank,
It was good.
American Eagle Bank in South Elgin. Has your bank changed names in the last 10 years? Is your bank another faceless branch with headquarters in another city? Are you tired of earning next to nothing on your savings account or certificates of deposit? Or does your personal banker treat you like a stranger? If you answered yes to any of those questions, then you're ready for a new banking experience, and American Eagle is the place for you. American Eagle is a locally owned independent bank that's rooted in the community, and American Eagle customers are greeted by name and treated with the respect that they deserve. American Eagle has an innovative program, Eagle Savings, that teaches your children to save while earning prizes and rewards. American Eagle offers great rates on certificates of deposit. My bank is located in South Elgin on Randall Road between the Target and Caputo's and is open Monday through Saturday. Give them a call at 847-742-7400, and a real person will answer the phone. American Eagle Bank, a place where you matter.
Businesses come in all shapes and sizes. Integrity doesn't. For more than a century, the Better Business Bureau has set the standards for how businesses should operate honestly and ethically. So when you're looking for a business you can trust, check to see who's BBB accredited and who isn't. Always choose the better business. Look for the BBB seal because it's looking out for you. That's why it's the sign of a better business. And find a better business anytime at bbb.org.
Want to furnish your space without breaking the bank or the planet? Remix Market is your destination for high-quality pre-loved furniture, home decor, and more. Each purchase helps us rehome items and keep them out of landfills. From statement pieces to everyday essentials, you'll find it all at Remix Market. Visit us online at remixmarket.com and shop secondhand treasures today.
Are you suffering with anxiety, depression, PTSD, an eating disorder, or even a substance abuse problem? If it's causing problems at work or with your family, get help now at Insight Mental Health and Wellness. We can help and treat all types of depression and mental issues. We'll help you use your insurance to get away from it all to a beautiful, sunny, and tranquil vacation-like environment so you can recharge yourself. And with a Family Medical Leave Act, you could take the time off you need from work. Plus, with the Affordable Care Act, your treatment could be 100% covered. If you're suffering from any kind of anxiety, depression, PTSD, eating disorder, or even a substance abuse problem, use your insurance and get away from it all. Come to sunny California. Call Insight Mental Health and Wellness now. 800-419-0287. 800-419-0287. 800-419-0287. That's 800-419-0287.
Deano's Night Out on WRMN. It's the talk of the town, so come on and listen now. It's Deano's Night Out on WRMN 1410.
Hey, we're back. You're listening to WRMN. That's 1410 on the AM dial. Promise we have Elliot Serrano going to join us in a few short moments over here. But just a little recap. Vito Zotto, how about that, huh? Comedian. I mean, what a performer he is. Great singer, great performer. We're going to post his schedule so everybody knows when he's playing, where he's at, where he's going to be. A good friend that I've known for a gazillion years, Vito D'Ambrosio, which was with the Italian American Executives of Transportation. And they really are a great organization. My kids, my twins, when they were younger, were able to get a scholarship. And it wasn't because we know each other. It's because they have to do their part. My kids donated, and, they volunteered. They were at the different functions helping. And that's what this is all about. You help your community. Whatever community you're in, be a part of the community. WRMN, here, we're in Elgin. Yes, we're Elgin, Elgin centric, I guess is the way they word it. But we're in the Fox River Valley. We want to support everything that goes on in the Fox River Valley. So, folks, get behind it. Get behind all of us over here. What we're trying to do over here at WRMN, we're trying to bring the community closer, make this community 6th largest city in the state of Illinois. I'll have you know, Elgin is where we actually have our address. But we want to make that community just a little smaller and maybe a little more friendly and a little more respectful of each other. Okay? Before I turn it over and we start talking with Elliot, Augustus Caesar Awards, and that's what's coming up that Vito was promoting, and that's on February the 1st. That's this Saturday. But you're still able to grab a ticket or two if you need one. It's in Willowbrook. And then there's the Stravaganza Internacional di Danza. And that's a fashion show. They got exotic dancers, cultural dancers, maybe not exotic, but I guess it would be exotic too if it's a different. And they're going to be supporting the Maryville. And Maryville is caring for children and strengthening families. A lot of things they do. So, Elliot, let's make this about you, my man. What's going on? Tell me about this show.
Well, as folks know, I know ever since I came on board here at WRMN, the mission has been to expand the level of discourse, change the level of discourse, get people talking, especially when it comes to things going on in the community, the things that people want to talk about. And we've especially been making some strides in developing our sports content. Sports talk is a big thing, especially in the Chicago market and the surrounding area. So, of course, we have our sports guys on Saturdays. And big thing, folks, tune in tomorrow on the YouTube page because our sports, I want to say, on the rise is going to be at the Old Republic, and they're going to be interviewing Sammy Sosa. Sammy Sosa is going to be there. So you want to tune in for that. And at 6 o'clock, after the Iglesia Chicane, which is going to be our Spanish language programming, also debuting here on WRMN.
And folks, it's going to be all in Spanish. So if you tune in and you say, there's something wrong with the radio, nothing's wrong with the radio. We planned it. And we're going to have other shows like that in other different languages. Go ahead.
Yes, but to support the Hispanic community, we will have Spanish language spiritual programming from 5 to 6. And afterwards, at 6 p.m., we will be debuting the show I'm producing, which is called the Torn Quadcast. So for folks who aren't familiar with that term, professional wrestlers tend to get injured quite a bit. And one of the more common injuries that we hear about are torn quadriceps. So one of my co-hosts, Mark Fishman, who lives in the area, he will be co-hosting. He came up with the title for the show, The Torn Quadcast. We'll be talking about professional wrestling, sports entertainment, sports and entertainment. So not just pro wrestling, but we'll be talking about other sports as well as comic books, the Marvel movies, DC. There's a new Captain America movie coming out next month. There's a Superman movie coming out in July. We're going to talk about all the fun, nerdy stuff that we are unable to talk about on the other shows.
You could talk about it till you're blue.
Till blue.
You want to hear it.
Again, to expand the level of discourse here on WRMN. And if you are interested in buying ads during the coming White Sox season, send an email to sales@WRMN1410.com. We have sales packages ready for you to have your ads heard during White Sox games.
Thank you, everyone, for listening to Dino's Night Out. Another great show. Thank you very much, Elliot, for being on. And look forward to that show. That's this Saturday. You don't want to miss it. 6 o'clock, 6 to 7. We'll catch you then. See you next time.
AFGE, the American Federation of Government Employees. We represent 700,000 federal and D.C. government workers who are the vital threads of the fabric of American life. We support our nation's military. We take care of our nation's veterans. We protect our nation's borders. We respond to our nation's crises and natural disasters. We provide services to our nation's seniors. The American Federation of Government Employees. We work for America.
Your hometown radio station since 1949. We are WRMN AM 1410 Elgin Time 4 o'clock.
This is WRMN News.
Hello, I'm Dennis Green. Recovery efforts have resumed on the Potomac River, where wreckage from Wednesday's deadly aircraft collision at Reagan National Airport can be seen sticking out of the water. News Nation's Alex Capriello reports crews will have their hands full with today's weather.
The pace of the current of that water in the river really rapid, it seems to me, which will certainly add difficulty for the EMS and the fire crews and divers that'll go out there that are still looking to recover as many bodies as possible. At latest count, at least 30 people have been recovered for that river, but we know 67 in total between the American Airlines aircraft as well as that Black Hawk helicopter. The water temperature currently at 43 degrees Fahrenheit, and we do expect a lot of rain. About an inch will come down on the metro area in total by about midnight tonight.
It's now been reported that the Black Hawk helicopter may not have been flying at the proper altitude. A preliminary report could be ready in a couple of weeks. All 64 people aboard the American Eagle flight number 5342 and 3 soldiers on the Black Hawk helicopter were killed in the crash. A man who survived the New Year's Day truck attack in New Orleans, French Quarter, got a big surprise from his favorite team. News Nation's Nick Smith reports he's going to the Super Bowl.
Former Princeton football player Ryan Quigley surprised with Super Bowl tickets. He was injured in the attack, and his best friend and former teammate Tiger Besh was killed. Now, Quigley says he's a lifelong Eagles fan and thanks the team for keeping his friend's story alive.
The Super Bowl happens February 9th at Caesars Superdome in New Orleans.
WRMN News, produced in Studio 14 by the River Media Network.
From the pages of the Elgin newspapers of 100 years ago today, these are the headlines brought to you by the Elgin History Museum.
I'm Nick Freeman, and here's what was happening 100 years ago today. Women claim they were talked into making purchases. Several of Elgin's most prominent women are up in arms today, claiming that they had been victimized by a hypnotic sales lady who forced them to believe something which wasn't. Though reluctant to admit they had been stung, the housewives are said to be eager to forewarn other possible prospects of being fooled like they were. They listened with rapt interest to a saleslady who said she was a pattern expert who had just returned from Europe with the latest of methods, namely, a pattern which measured itself to a woman's dimensions. The result was that, collectively, they paid her $8 for a delivery of the pattern. The arrival of the so-called pattern, they continue, was a complete disillusionment. It was nothing. It was just a chart showing how to measure yourself. Nothing new at all. One incensed housekeeper exclaimed, "I can buy the same thing and better for 35 cents at a department store. I want to warn other people," she continued. I guess it was her hypnotism which caused me to tumble for her chatter.
Elgin 100 Years Ago is a presentation of the Elgin History Museum. Be sure to visit the museum located at 360 Park Street in Elgin, open Wednesday through Saturdays 11 to 4. You can also listen to Elgin 100 Years Ago at www.elginhistory.org.
This is Sarah Silver with your Fox Valley forecast. This afternoon, mostly cloudy with a decent chance of rain before 4 p.m. High near 41, with temperatures falling to around 35. Windy with gusts up to 35 miles per hour. Tonight, partly cloudy with a low around 27. Tomorrow, partly sunny with a high near 35. Currently, it is 39 with mainly clear skies. I'm Sarah Silver on the Talk of the Town, WRMN.
Now's the the time to shop limited time doorbuster deals during Pro Savings Days at Lowe's. Save $50 on a Little Giant King Combo 6-foot ladder. Was $199, now $149. Plus, save $100 on a DeWalt XR 20-volt Power Stack 5 amp-hour battery. Was $199, now $99. Get these can't-miss deals now before they're gone. Lowe's knows savings. Lowe's knows pros. Doorbusters valid 113 through 115. Selection varies by location. While
I occasionally have nerve discomfort in my hands, so the things I love to do
Let's play something, Grandma.
became difficult as I got older.
If you have occasional stabbing and burning in your hands and feet, try Nervive Nerve Relief. Nervive's clinically studied dose of alpha-lipoic acid reduces occasional nerve discomfort in as little as 7 days with continued daily use.